Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Welcome to Talking with Tom. I'm Tom Dacey alongside Ed McCarver. Hello, Edward.
Hello, Tommy. How are you?
Good, good. We have a very special show this evening.
Yeah, and with new surroundings, too. We're here, actually, where are we today, Tom? I know we're on location somewhere.
I don't know where we are either. Where are we?
We are actually at part of my palatial estate.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually in my community room here at McKenna Court in Wallingford, Connecticut.
Okay.
Because, you know, Mother Nature has been giving us a hard time lately.
Mother Nature has been beating us all up severely, I think. It's been a tough couple of weeks, but I like the way you describe it, palatial estate, and it is very nice, and it's very warm, so which I'll take.
Which we need.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. Hey, and I know we're just coming on here. Do you want to talk about the Super Bowl very briefly? The surprising Super Bowl?
You mean those darn cheaters? That's all.
No.
That's all I have to say.
Now, my wife, who's a diehard Patriot fan, was pretty upset with 25 seconds left in the game when it was first and goal on the 1 yard line.
She got a little nervous there, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I think Tom Brady was a little upset too for.
Yes. We did see that, but 5 seconds later, after the Butler did it, as they say, Malcolm Butler intercepted that pass, and now Tom Brady and the rest of the New England Patriots, and a very happy Maureen McCarver is happy that the New England Patriots are once again kings of the football world.
All I have to say is, you know, I'm surrounded by Jet fans this evening. That's all I got to say.
Miami family little Jets fans on
Yep.
there.
And we got a Jet fan in the audience too.
Too.
Well, at least it was our division. You know, it couldn't be the Jets or the Dolphins, but at least it was the AFC East that won the Super Bowl. So maybe there's some solace in that. I don't know.
I think the Patriots might want to give some credit to Pete Carroll on that.
Yes, Pete Carroll should be the most valuable player. I agree. Good point.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a very special show this evening. So without further ado, should I welcome our guest?
Sure.
From American Steamed, Mr. Tom Schappert.
Welcome, Tom. Welcome, Tom.
I want to start out by asking you, has it always been your dream to open a fast food restaurant?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's something I never planned on doing. It has a couple things involved that are very interesting to me. The product itself is very unique, and the small business aspect of it is very unique and something I really enjoy. But it was never planned. But it is a pretty neat adventure, and I've enjoyed doing it. So
It just kind of fell into place.
it just kind of happened, yeah.
Now, Connecticut has been known as the home of the steamed cheeseburger, with a number of almost historical locations in the state. I know there are several restaurants in the area that claim that they were the birthplace of the steamed cheeseburger. How did you get interested in the steamed cheeseburger?
I got involved with helping a friend, and it just grew from there. It just, like wildfire, grew from there, and I've been doing it ever since. It is true that the most unique thing probably in Connecticut is the steamed burger. If you come here and you want to try something unique in Connecticut, then that's the steamed burger. That's where you want to go and what you want to do. It's really well known in central Connecticut, and outside of there, if you go a few towns outside of this area, a lot of people will say, well, what are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah, even as close as Hartford, which is 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is true that it is well known here. A little history on it. It goes back to the turn of the century, where they used to bring them out to the factories in Meriden, which is a town over from us, and make them for the workers. And that's as far back as we can really trace it. The first place that I've ever seen documented was in the 40s in Middletown, which is no longer in existence. I think it lasted into the early 50s. And so that was the first place, called Jack's, I believe it was in Middletown, just off of Main Street.
So if someone were to ask you, where was the steamed cheeseburger born, you would say Middletown?
I would say Meriden. It was
Meriden.
born in Meriden, definitely, around the turn of the century, from what I can tell.
Okay.
The first establishment that ever sold them was in Middletown. So, yeah, and that's the history. I mean, I'm into history, as Tommy knows, and looking into it. That's the only documentation I can find out there. So that's.
And why is it that it never caught on?
In my opinion, I think it's a very simple, easy product to make, which can easily be messed up. As simple as you can make it, you can simply screw it up, and I think that's it. When you take it out of this area, and you don't have a lot of experience with it, it's very easy to screw up. And you need to move them. They need to move in and out. You can't have them sitting around, and that will also, kill the product, and it won't be the same. So honestly, I think those are the reasons right there. So lack of experience, just how to handle, how to make them, and maybe not moving them fast enough, obviously, but any food is crucial. So I really think those are the reasons.
Can you talk a little bit about the process of how you steam the burger?
Yeah, it's real simple. I mean, we have a steam box over here. It's just like you steam vegetables or anything else.
And I don't know if you want to bring it over here to get into position here, or
You can see it okay?
Okay.
Okay, so basically it's just like any process of steaming. You have a pan at the bottom you put water into, and then we use these trays. There's two different types that are used, either stainless steel like the box, or the plastic. The plastic doesn't emit into food or anything like that, so it's been approved and all that. This stays a little cooler, these stay a little hotter, so it's preference or whatever you like better. But basically you basically fill the tray up with meat. Cheese is, of course, your choice. Maybe about halfway is kind of where we're at. And
so the burger, the ground beef, the burger goes in there, and the cheese or whatever else goes in.
Goes in a separate tray.
Separate,
Yeah.
okay.
And obviously, cheese is gonna melt a lot quicker than the burger's cooked, so that's another thing you have to be careful about when you're cooking them. When the box is, it's its max temperature, with a burger going in there, it's roughly around 10 minutes to cook. Then you obviously can't keep it that hot constantly, and the cheese is going to melt much quicker than that. So it's a really simple process of basically a pan with water and a box up top that's not totally sealed off. Keeps most of the steam in there, but it does escape, and that's fine. But it does get very hot in there, probably around 180 degrees, 200 degrees easily.
Now, does that apparatus have a formal name, or is it a steam cabinet, or?
Yeah, it's a steamed cheeseburger cabinet. That's really what it is. And people can, if you're good with metal, you can pound one of these out. 'Cause it's just a box.
It's also known as a squared circle.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we can know somebody that has a show like that, don't we?
Yeah.
Somebody. Heard that show before somewhere around here. But yeah, I mean, it's a really simple process and a simple product and a simple box, and we just simply reach in. You have this fits 24, so 6, 6, 6, and 6, 4 rows of 6. You can put 2 on in, so you just slip them in like you have out in your grill in the backyard, and you pull them out, put your burgers together. But it's really simple and easy, and it's not real complicated. It's very unique. So.
And I understand that the boxes have a Wallingford connection.
Yeah, the boxes, just like the burger itself, the boxes have been made locally in this area, always in Meriden and Wallingford, from what I know of. They're made in both Meriden and Wallingford still, and basically have been, I guess, 40 years or more.
I wonder where it could have been made. So I know years ago there were a number of factories in town like that. I'm thinking, well, not International Silver, what was Silversmith, something.
Well, originally, like we were talking about at the turn of the century when they were making these, I don't think it was this kind of process. It was some idea of steaming the burgers. Wasn't nearly as efficient, I'm sure, and it wasn't a cabinet, I don't believe. But when that came around, I don't know, I guess it dates back, without looking it up, I don't remember exactly, probably, I guess maybe to the 40s. I guess they had some kind of steam cabinet back then in Middletown.
World War II?
Yeah, but I don't really know that. I only know the place existed, I don't know what they used. And I know people to talk about these going back, I guess 40, 50 years. So I assume they were around when they opened that place.
So again, you'll put water in
Yeah.
in the bottom tray, get it to a boil,
Yep,
and then just keep it boiling and just put the steam cabinet on top of it and you're good to go.
yep, and you, like I said, tray the burgers and cheese in the trays, and in you go, and away you go.
Wow.
Um,
What's the difference between a steamed cheeseburger and a regular cheeseburger that I would throw on my grill?
I think I can even answer that one.
Go for it.
And
The mayor's got the answer.
So.
Well, the steamed cheeseburger, you get rid of all the fat.
Oh, really?
This is true. So all the fat cooks into the tray, all into the tray, and that's all dumped out in the process before you're making the burger. So you do get rid of all that fat. When you grill a burger, you're grilling it with all that fat. It's all trapped right there. So that is definitely a healthier way to eat a burger. It is definitely healthier, but you're still adding the cheese and stuff to it as well. So, if you stay away from the cheese and you stay away from the roll, you're even better. But it is healthier for you overall.
Very good. Very good.
So, since you've been in business, how has the community received you?
Very well. I mean, like we were talking about, it's well known in this area. So the people are always interested in trying us out because they perceive us as being new. So it's very interesting in them just to try. I would be the same way with anything that's a new place doing something similar to that.
There's a lot of eateries in downtown Wallingford. I think if you start at the top of the hill, and if you stop for a bite to eat at the top of the hill and make your way down and had a sandwich at each location, you probably would go from a welterweight to a heavyweight.
I think we frequented quite a few of them ourselves.
Yes, oh yeah, well, not all at one sitting, but I don't want to say competition, but because there's a variety of places, but you're holding your own as far in the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're a good fit because, like you're saying, you do have everything from wraps to, there's grilled burgers, there's Mexican food, there's Chinese food, pizza places, and then you have the steamed burger. So it really isn't like competition with the steamed burger with me, but I add a nice touch to downtown as well because it's something that we didn't have, we now do have. So.
Now, I understand you bought some things that you wanted to show us.
Yep.
You have something here.
Well, it's just interesting. I mean, if you come under my establishment, I have a lot of history of, town of Wallingford in there. And other things too, wall parks, and this is just a piece of history on the tray itself. And when one person out there designed it, they put together a blueprint on it. And this is just a blueprint, so it's something we can hold up. It's kind of
Yeah, and I don't know how much this deal is. Come in and.
Just wash my face off, that's good.
That was our idea. I mean, we pointed this out. So.
This is the blueprint of the.
The trays that I was just showing you a minute ago. So just a little blueprint, and it's just a neat piece of history.
But you can see a lot of work did go into it, and a lot of care.
A simple thing as a little tray was definitely something that was thought out. A lot of work I put into it. It's kind of interesting.
You mentioned that a steamed cheeseburger gets all the fat out of it,
Yeah.
and
Or at least most of it.
yeah, and in this era of health conscious food, do you think a steamed cheeseburger, or maybe a steamed hamburger, maybe if you just kept the cheese off it, would be a healthy alternative to some of the other foods?
Absolutely, and we use a good quality meat. And then if you were to, and a lot of people do, a lot of people will come in and get what they call like a lettuce sandwich, where they use lettuce instead of the roll. And then maybe they'll have some other stuff in there, tomato or pickles or whatever they like. But yeah, instead of the roll, they'll do lettuce or just the burger itself on a plate. You've seen that, I'm sure, many times.
Yeah.
When you've been down in the shop. But yeah, that's definitely a healthy way to go, especially if you cut out both. Of course, what is it without the cheese? But it is very good by itself.
In doing some research on this, and I got this on the internet, so it has to be true.
Of course it is.
It said in a steamed cheeseburger, it's 580 calories, 400 from the burger, and 180 calories for the bun. So, do you ever look at yourself as a health food entrepreneur with your steamed burgers?
Honestly, I don't. I look at it as another type of burger that's out there. Obviously, it's very unique, especially if you're not from this area. They're just like, I gotta try it, or that's kind of weird. Or sometimes people have to be conned into it. And my simple answer to that is, if you like burgers, you're gonna like these. They're good.
Have you had customers that have done that? People have come into your establishment
All
and
the
say,
Yeah.
"What's a steamed cheeseburger?"
Yeah. I had, I'm not sure if you were there. I think you might have been there that day. The two young kids that came in because they gave me a little comment afterwards. There was a young couple that came in, and the young girl was very hesitant about trying the burger. And after they ate, I asked them what they thought about it, and they gave me, their thoughts. And she was so shy she didn't talk. But through her boyfriend, her comment was it was a godly burger, which I thought was pretty unique. I never heard anything like that.
A godly burger.
A godly burger, yeah. So
That's
yeah,
interesting.
pretty much, I could always throw a challenge out there. It's like if you like burgers and they say yes, then you're gonna like this burger. And if you don't, I'll pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. They always do. So
Yeah. We're talking with Tom Schappert, and I'm thinking you're located near the railroad station.
Yep.
And I'm thinking a lot of Choate students come in by train, and a lot of Choate students who are usually out of the area, out of the state. So I imagine you get that the students from
Yep.
Choate come in and try it out, and they must think, what is this?
What's interesting is what I never really thought about is I get their families a lot more than I get them individually or the kids. We get where we are is great. Being the train station and downtown area, we get a little bit of everything. There's a lot of places to drink and stuff around there,
Yep.
so we get some from there. The traffic stops, so we get a lot of people from that. So we get a little bit for everything. But that's the interesting part. I never really thought about the families, but as they drive by and see that steamed burger, what's that? We got to try it out. They come as a family. You'll get 6 or 8 of them. They're here for orientations or visiting or whatever's going on. And that's the interesting part I never thought about. You get the whole family that comes in to try it.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're not from around here, different parts of Connecticut or out of state or something like that. So that's the interesting experience I've had with Choate being in this location.
Yeah, and they all must be, you must get some interesting comments. The godly comment is
The godly comment was
that was a good one.
one of the most unique I've ever had. But yeah, we get great comments and reviews and stuff. Our reviews online are great, and there's some that are in the restaurant and they're great too. So it is really neat to see what people say about the burger and their experience and how they come back into town. And when they come back into town, they come right in, to have
Nice.
them again.
So you get a lot of repeat business.
Absolutely, it's
Excellent.
all yeah.
Excellent.
One thing I gotta say about this gentleman right here, he has done a lot for the community since he's been here. He just recently made a bunch of coupons and brought them down to the senior center. He is making donations to Master's Manna.
Matter of fact, we just completed that today. So
And
Very nice.
he does, he gets a lot of people that come over from the shelter during the day. He'll help them out as well.
you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're definitely, it's all family. We're all family, and that's the way I look at it. You come in, you become part of the family, and we try to help everybody out. What comes around goes around.
Yeah.
And I gotta thank you for all your help too. I mean, a lot of these ideas I come up with, Tommy's right there to help me with them, follow through. Maybe you know somebody, and he's been very helpful.
Good for you. So you're giving back. So
absolutely,
that's nice.
Well, it comes around, goes around. I always feel that. So, and if you can help, you obviously should.
Yeah.
And I do want to when we do.
Good. I had actually a friend of ours, Lenny, who that we has an establishment that we
Yes.
that we frequent. I don't want to say the name of the establishment, but his name is Lenny. So, and I remember he told me the toughest thing about running an establishment like his is that it's a 24-hour-a-day job. I'm thinking Efren too,
Yeah.
another guest that
We
we've
all
had on.
share in this.
What's the toughest thing about running a restaurant? Is it the 24 hours in a day, or?
Yeah, when you look at my restaurant, it's really is broken. This is a simple process we just talked about. This is about as simple as a restaurant can be. It's real simple, easy to make the product, and we don't have a ton of stuff. But even so, the hours that are put in, there's always cleanup, there's always something to do. You're still running a business, there's always something to take care of when you go home. And the toughest part is not being able to do a lot of the things that I want to do, or should do. And Brendan shares in that. There are things that we used to do before I just can't do. So that
Because
really
of time constraints? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. And your obligation is to be there for your hours, and really you need to be open every day. It's just the way it works.
And you are you're 7
Yeah,
days a
we're
week?
7 days a week, and if I close at 8, it's always 9. If I close at 10, some days it's 11. And Tom's been there on some days with me where he hangs out with me and he sees it all the time. So,
So it's a.
So that is definitely the toughest
time.
part. It's tough on the family. It's tough to fit other things in, and then we all share that. Everybody, downtown here, we all work together. We all share that. So it is nice to get a day off every so often when you can squeeze one out. And I do take them here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have about 4 minutes left.
You're kidding.
That went by fast. Not a lot of time to go.
And I would like to ask you before we end,
Here comes the big
what advice would you give someone who may be thinking of opening their own business?
I guess I tend to warn them a little bit, I guess, because some of those things we just mentioned are very tough. It's not something you can do half-hearted. You can't do half the time. You can't get too disappointed when things ain't always working. You just got to keep moving forward. So you got to be persistent. I guess that would be my advice. You have to be very strong and persistent and always keep moving forward.
What's the best advice you ever got when you started out? Was there someone that said?
As far as running a business, I've never gotten advice from that, but I build off of nothing that was motivational. I build off of people anywhere who I respect. Bill Parcells might be one. I'll just throw that out there, first thing that comes to mind, because he is like no other coach I've ever seen in the NFL. You look at the NFL and it's pretty all the same.
Believe me, Tom and I know.
Yeah. Well,
we've had coaches.
Me and you would know as being a Jets
Jet fans, yes.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the Jets.
Yeah.
He's done it with Miami, and he went in there and he changed organizations kind of basically overnight.
Yeah.
And no matter what you were putting into it or how good you were playing, there was always motivation. You could always be better. There's many people. So inspiration of people who are like him, who are very unique, who are very strong-minded, and just it's never good enough. And just keep moving forward, and you have to have that.
And you do like it. I mean, it's a passion of yours. It's not.
Yes.
You don't have a job. You have. It's a career for you.
Small business is a passion of mine. This product is very unique. That's a passion of mine. The customers and the family atmosphere, all that is a passion of mine. So all those things. Absolutely, I do love it.
One more for me, if I may, Tommy, and as an aging parrot head that I am, when you hear Jimmy Buffett's cheeseburger in paradise. Do you
Yeah.
consider that? Do you hear steamed cheeseburger in paradise? Is it a
Absolutely,
free
it's
flop for
definitely
you?
one of our theme songs. Absolutely, yep.
Good.
Yep.
Good to hear.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
One of my karaoke favorites.
Oh, really? Excellent. Excellent.
But Ed, as always, it's been a pleasure.
This has been a very quick 30
Yeah,
minutes.
are you sure it was 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you
This was
sure?
a sprint, not a marathon.
Tom,
Thanks for
pleasure.
having me.
Come
Tom,
back
thank
and see
you.
us again.
Best of luck to you.
Absolutely. And go Jets.
All right.
Want to thank Dylan Zimmerman this evening for doing camera for us.
Thanks to Dylan.
Thank you for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.